Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chronicle, where I talk about my daily life, weekly goals, and the overarching plot of my life. It is the start of a new week. Let's start off with last week. I talked about how I might be working at Hugo Tea today. That didn't happen. I was on my way to Hugo Tea, and then my boss called for my, of course, my main job, and he said the guy that was supposed to train you called in, and the only other guy that can train you is only there Tuesday through Friday, and of course today's Monday. So I just went to work as usual an hour later. Not the worst thing, but I don't know. I ended up kind of like quote unquote force feeding myself a little protein bar, because I was like, I'm not hungry, but I don't know how the breaks work at Hugo Tea, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to eat at 10 a.m. like I usually do. But I think I'm gonna need to, but just in case I don't, I'm gonna eat this protein bar, right? Because if I don't end up eating by 10 a.m., then that means that I would have had nothing between like waking up at 8 and then lunch at noon, which is when I would assume they have their lunch. Um, but yeah, so I haven't. I'm just gonna go into work tomorrow like usual, and I would assume they'll tell me if I'm gonna go back there or not. Because before last week he was like, it might be one day, it might be a few days, but I'm like, well, I don't know, because I probably should have asked, but I don't actually care enough to ask because I'm so bummed that I didn't actually get to go there today. Um, so I'm like, if they want me, they'll ask for me, or if my boss wants me to go there, he'll tell me to, or he'll ask me to. Yeah, so I didn't get to work at Hugo T today, unfortunately. Work was fine. Nothing notable, I think. I am trying to reduce my screen time. It's down today, down from the usual 4 hours. It's currently at 2 hours 45 minutes, way more than I thought it would be. I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, it just doesn't. I mean, I guess, but like whatever. Yeah, so 2 hours 45 minutes today, not nearly as close as I wanted, as low as I wanted, but it's fine. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow should be better. Um, I think hopefully I know. I looked at my screen time usage. I'm like, okay, this is when it needs to go down. 25 minutes on Spotify. I'm like, how is that possible? How was I like open like all I do is like I usually click a playlist and then like lock my phone. So I don't know how I spent 25 minutes on Spotify. Right, like actively looking at it. Oh no. Anyway, work was fine. I did read my. Where is it? Okay. So, I don't know if this is technically manga. I think I referred to it as manga last week. My Pouty gave it to me to borrow. This is not the one I'm reading right now. The one I'm reading, it's about the same person, written by the same person. It's about a lesbian struggling with alcoholism. It's a very good read. But yeah, I don't know what exactly this counts as because like I don't know the definition of a manga. So I don't know if this counts as manga, but it's like a little. It looks like manga, right? Panels, text, comic book art style. Um, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm only like 99% sure. The author, she referred to them as memoirs, and I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't know if counts as a memoir or like what exactly the definition of a memoir is either. Because I had thought that a memoir was something to remember someone by when they die, and I looked up a definition. A memoir is just something written from someone's memory. I was like, oh, that makes much more sense. Um, yeah, so I don't know. You could maybe call it a graphic novel. I don't know if it's quite that long. I read just a little over half of the first one in the over my 25-minute break and my lunch hour. Like I said, quite good. It's helping keep the screen time down. My screen time should be even lower tomorrow. Um, anyway, after work, I played video games for like way too long. I'm also staying up later than usual. I think I'm gonna try staying up. Usually, I tend to get tired around 11:30. So the whole I was like in my head I was crashing out. I don't know how much you guys could tell I was crashing out, actually, but in my head I was crashing out a lot because I couldn't figure out what the right amount of sleep was. So now what I'm doing is I'm kind of just staying up until I get tired, which is usually between like 11:30 and midnight. That gives me like I don't know between 7 and 8 hours of sleep, maybe between 6 and 8. Um, yeah, but I feel usually fine, usually not bad. I'm not tired, and it's currently 11:24. Not sure why. Maybe it's because I got that extra hour of sleep. When I do get that close to 8 hours, I will usually not get tired in the evening, which is good and bad. It's good because I can keep doing things all the way up until bedtime. But by the time bedtime hits, I'm not actually tired yet, so then I don't go to sleep, and then I end up being tired the next morning, right? So it's this weird thing where it's like I might wake up tired or get tired in the evening, but sleeping is easier. And honestly, I feel like that's a worthwhile trade-off because sleeping is like the worst. Just literally just falling asleep is kind of the hardest part for me. Usually once I'm asleep, I stay asleep. Usually. Um, but yeah, so I think I'll just stay up. I don't know. It's 11:25. I was planning on like going to bed at midnight if I'm not tired by then. But I'm also like my brain is like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Because I am a little bit short on time because I tried cooking a steak as well. Um, it didn't go well. It was just it seemed like it might have been unevenly cooked, but really it just got more raw as you got closer to the center. Also, it was a thick steak, and it was $17, and I ate about half of it, and then I was like, this is not great. And like I said, it's very rare in the middle, not very cooked. So I took a little bite. I took a little chunk of a rare piece, and I was like, maybe it's not that bad. It's not that bad, I guess, but it's like not really what I want. And it's kind of chewy, so I'd count that as a fail for sure. Man, yeah, it's like $17 down the drain and I'm still hungry. Awesome. I love being an adult. Um, yeah, so I did cook a steak. I played some video games. I practiced. I got most of a piano practice, and then I played more video games. Uh, I was going somewhere with that. Oh yeah, so now I'm trying to do my dailies, but I've got like half an hour left in the day. Well, the only ones I've done is like I think I ate some honey. And they're not that hard. I do want to get another check mark on that instead of the number. I guess I do have time for it, but now I'm prioritizing what do I do and what do I not do. I should practice my instruments because I've been seriously slacking on that. I guess yeah I do have. I think I need like one. If I get a full practice tonight, which may or may not happen, then I'll just need one more, and then I'll practice what I need to for guitar, and then I can do my dailies. Um, yeah, I think so. Anyway, that is all for today. Scanning my memory. Yeah, I think that's all for today, and I will see you all tomorrow, Tuesday. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday. I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired. But I don't like being tired on video because I feel like it makes me sound sad. But I'm not. In fact, life has been quite good lately, I think. Um, I'm not entirely sure what it is exactly. My most likely theory is that it's the sleep thing. For some reason, staying up closer to midnight, falling asleep when I'm tired, and then waking up at 7:30 seems to be better. I think. Like I feel like overall it's better. Like of course it's not the best. It's got its trade-offs, but I feel like it's mostly good. When I do wake up, I feel like I feel like I just need a little more sleep, and can you hear that? That was thunder, and it was so loud it set off a car alarm. I don't know if you can hear that. Anyway, wow. Okay, crazy car alarm. Anyway, um, yeah. So I wake up, and I feel like I just need a little more sleep, like maybe like 15 minutes, half an hour tops, right? The thing is that I wake up 15 minutes before I need to leave, like before I need to literally walk out the door. Um, so I don't get to sleep anymore. But I think that lines up with my kind of the sleep schedule that I've tried to like cultivate on purpose my whole life, which is 12 to 8. Now I don't think the 12 to 8 is possible at the moment. I am helping out with Hugo Tea. Remember how I said I didn't get to help yesterday? So I woke up to a text from my boss saying, "Hey, you're going to Hugo Tea today," and I was like, "Okay, I wish I would have known this, earlier." Well, so he texted me at like 7:15, but I didn't wake up until like 7:30, 7:45. So I was like, I guess I'm going to Hugo Tea. So I went to Hugo Tea. That was good. Um, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was so much quieter in there. There's still this machine that's running constantly, and it's fairly loud. But it is dude, it is way quieter than the main factory. Oh my gosh. So it was nice to. I think I had my I had my phone on so mute, right? I had it one, two, three up from muted. That's where I had my volume at most of the day. And that was really nice. I was doing super simple tasks, super repetitive, but honestly, I didn't mind. I really didn't mind. Matter of fact, I liked it. I think it was nice. Better than the factory? Maybe. Honestly, it's a solid contender for being better than the main factory, if I'm being honest. Um, I don't know if I would like transfer there officially, but I think, it's definitely, even if I'm not doing it permanently, it's super fun temporarily. So I'll be going in there tomorrow, and I think all the way maybe through the rest of the week, with the exception of Friday. Um, anyway, so I went there. That was good. Now I'm just going over to today's events. I totally forgot about the whole sleep thing. Yeah, sleeping later and waking up later is good. Cause and now the downside is that I get more tired in the evening, like right now. Like I've kind of just been like scrolling for like half an hour, which I kind of really was upsets me because I've been trying to keep that down. It is the screen time is still lower than usual, just not not quite as much as I wanted. Um, I did also make a fun little guest appearance at the at work at my main job, at the roastery. I stopped by during lunch to get my manga, my water, and some coffee, because I still need those things, and I didn't have them. I left. I always leave my water bottle at work because that's the only place I use it. And then I left the manga in my locker because I was like, oh, I'll just be back here tomorrow. Turns out I wasn't. And then also I needed some coffee. Speaking of coffee, I don't know what I'm gonna do for the caffeine tomorrow. Cause I guess I could just go. I could go to the roastery during my lunch break, get a free coffee, but that's a trip. That's a whole trip there and back that I have to make, and I don't want to do that. So I don't know what to do there. Anyway, today's events. I gotta stay locked in. Went to work. It was good. Hugo Tea, a lot of fun. And then I did something after that, and then I came home and I played Deadlock with Parkour and a couple of his friends. A lot of fun. If you don't know, Deadlock is a video game. It is a third-person multiplayer online battle arena, still being developed by Valve, a very, very popular developer. They made Team Fortress 2 and Half-Life, I think. I'm not super familiar with their games, but I know they're super super popular. They made like some of the best, most popular games ever, and I think they're like directly associated with Steam, or maybe like they're a company within Steam, which is like one of the biggest gaming platforms ever. Anyway, that's super common knowledge if you're like a gamer, but I don't know. Just for the people who aren't. Anyway, I played Deadlock, and that was kind of the last thing I did. And then I got in the shower, and I didn't do my dailies. That thing I did after work took up some time, and then I also wanted to play badminton with parkour, but it was kind of windy today, so I canceled that. And I was like, well, we could still play Deadlock, so we played Deadlock. It was a lot of fun, but it did take up time that I don't know, because it's like I had fun, yes, but I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. Like well, because I wanted to do that, which is why I did it. But the trade off, I didn't do other things that I wanted to do. So it's kind of that balance that I try to figure out every single day, where it's like doing things with other people versus doing things with myself. Like I didn't get to do guitar catch up. I didn't do my dailies, which is off terrible start for the dailies. Did I do them yesterday? I think I might have technically done them, like just barely in time. Um, yeah, but I definitely didn't do them today. And now I'm tired, and I'm gonna go to sleep. I think that's everything for today. I think I had one overarching thing I want to talk about. I think it was just the sleep. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday. I have my retainers in. Sorry. Today after work, after a full day of work at Hugo Tea, I went to the Bullet Hole, which is a shooting range, and I took a pistol class with my mom. It was a lot of fun. After that, I would like to say I did anything, but I kind of didn't. I played a Mission of Helldivers, and I was just so tired. I was like, I can't do anything else. I'm really upset. My instruments are cooked, bro. I did not practice my instruments enough this week, and tomorrow is lessons, so it's gonna be okay. I'm just gonna kind of suck, I guess. Anyway, work was good. Hugo Tea. I got to take my regular breaks on Tuesday. I only took a lunch break, because I wasn't sure if I was like allowed to take the breaks that I usually do. And I talked to my boss, and he was like, "Yeah, that's fine. You can probably do that if you ask him." And I asked the manager there at Hugo Tea. I was like, "Hey, can I take my usual breaks that I do at the roastery?" He said, "Yeah, that's fine." I was like, "Okay, cool." So we got that for the rest of the week. I finished reading one of the mangas that Pouty gave me, and she confirmed it is a manga. It's just an autobiographical manga. Very good, very good. I really like it. I started the second one today. Um, the shooting class was fun. Couple things. I guess maybe I didn't put the earplugs in right. I could have sworn I jammed them into my ears as far as they could go. And then whenever the first bullet was fired, immediately it was like, oh my god, it was like an explosion in my left ear, and then it started ringing, and I was like, okay, that's definitely not good, and I'm pretty sure I had my earplugs in properly, but I guess not. And then every time a shot would go off, my left ear would ring a little bit, and I was like, oh my god. And my mom noticed very quickly because I was just like, oh my god. And then she offered to go get some ear protection. I felt kind of bad for making her spend more money, but I was like, I really need that ear protection, I think, because I had the earplugs right. But then she bought some like little over ears. So I had the earplug in the over ears, and that helped a lot. Like I said, there was still, even with the earplugs and the over ears, I would still get a ring in my left ear every time a shot went off. Um, and then in terms of like shooting, so something I felt like something was wrong. One thing, he let we use the iron sights on just like a regular pistol, like a handgun, and then he also had a pistol with a laser sight. And I could not see the laser sight, and I could not get it to like work properly. I just couldn't aim. I literally just couldn't aim with it. I don't know what was up. It's just like he said, you're supposed to look through the sight with both eyes at your target. Look through the sight with both eyes at the target that's downrange. And I tried that, and I literally just couldn't. I just couldn't get it. And then later at the end of the class, he takes his little pistol to the guy that's working the front desk. And he's like, "Look at this. Look through here." And the guy at the front desk is like, "Okay, it's broken." And then the guy's like, "Yeah." And I was like, and I didn't ask in person, but I really wanted to, and I really should have. But I was like, "Is that why I couldn't see the laser sight? Because it was actually literally just broken?" Maybe, I don't know. And also, I was a terrible shot. I think I was holding the gun. I think it might have been a little too big. My hands are like fairly large, but they're kind of like spindly, right? So I was holding it, and you're supposed to put like your the web of your hand up against the tang, which is a certain part of the gun. But I couldn't get that. I couldn't close that gap without squeezing it really hard. And he said you're not supposed to squeeze the gun really hard because that's going to throw off your aim. So I couldn't comfortably get up to that spot where I was supposed to. And then also I was like incredibly nervous. Like I was looking down the sights, my hand was just shaking left and right. I was like, oh my god. I could not, I could barely shoot straight at all. I got like a few good shots in. I fired off most of our rounds. We've got 6 left. I got to keep them. Okay, so you see my little bullet guy right here? Right here, this little, okay, I don't know if you can tell behind the shelf, but this is a plush of a bullet with like a little face, smiley face on it. And I do have 6 real bullets now left over from the range, and I put one of them next to him as a fun little decoration. Anyway, yeah. So I was shooting, and I was not doing very well. I tried. I think I fired 6 shots at one target, one specific part of the target, and I didn't hit a single one. And I was like, oh my god, this is terrible. I'm bad at this, or maybe it's just like it just felt very very awkward to me. Cause like I was holding up the gun, and my shoulders were like, I don't know why, maybe I was too tense, but it was super strenuous to actually hold it all the way up in front of me, and maybe I was like extending my shoulders too far forward or something. But I couldn't hold it. I couldn't actually aim up for very long like this. And I was like, I kind of held it like this, but like that was weird because it's like I don't know. And like I said, I couldn't use the sights. Yeah, so I felt like I couldn't. Maybe the gun I was using was too big. I felt like I couldn't hold it right. I couldn't hold it properly. And the recoil, it was a lot for sure, but it never got to the point where it felt like it was gonna like jump out of my hand. I mean, like I would seriously like, whoosh, you know what I'm saying? Because I was new, so I'm like, whoosh. um. But anyway, I could not aim. I was like, I feel like I'm just not built for this, and also, I'm left eye dominant, which is crazy to me. I don't know how crazy that is. Let me double check real quick. Both eyes. So there's a way you can check which eye dominant you are. So do this with your hands, and then look at something like kind of far away. Look through the hole with both eyes. Look at something in the distance, and then start by closing your left eye. And if you close your left eye, and you can still see it, that means you're right eye dominant. But I can't. Whenever I closed my left eye, I couldn't see it, which means I'm left. Or whenever I closed, yeah, which means I was left eye dominant. And I was like, what? What? Because I'm right-handed. I'm pretty sure I'm right-footed as well, but apparently I'm left eye dominant. And the guy was like, huh, maybe you're just too left eye dominant that you can't see the sight with both eyes. And I was like, either that or like maybe because I wanted to see if maybe when I had the laser sight, maybe if moving the gun closer or further to my face would like make a difference. But I would have felt like an idiot just going like this with the laser sight. But it was broken. I don't know if it was broken when I was using it. I'm pretty sure it was. I would assume so. But yeah, so I'm either a terrible shot or I'm just new and really like awkward because like I said, I couldn't get the proper grip without squeezing it really hard, and if you don't squeeze it really hard, so I'm like, okay, that's bad. And yeah, I didn't hit many shots. Anyway, that is all for today. That was a lot of fun. And I'll see you all tomorrow, Thursday. My left ear is still ringing, actually. Even after that, anytime a noise would go above a certain level, it would cause a ring. So like during conversations, like with my mom, afterwards we got Five Guys after the shooting range, and like she would like talk and her voice would go up a little bit in volume and it'd go, right, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, and I can still hear it when it's quiet. I can still hear it. Anyway, I will see you all tomorrow, Thursday. Hopefully, it's not totally terrible. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thursday. So, a bit of a weird spot. It's 7 minutes past midnight right now. I should be in bed, but I'm not tired. Why? Pretty sure it's because I took my creatine too late, so now I'm like not tired at all. And it's past midnight. What am I gonna do? No idea. I just scrolled for a while. Whoops, didn't mean to. Um, so I guess we'll go over today. I went to Hugo Tea again today, and I will, I think, again tomorrow, and then I think that'll finish my little excursion there. Honestly, I do not mind. I would not mind going back. Would I want to do that full time? It's hard to say. I'm leaning towards yes. Like if they were like, "Hey, we've got a spot in our factory. We could just transfer you over, no problem." I think I'd be tempted. I really like it there. It's quieter. They've got one machine that's constantly running, like I said, but it is quieter. The factory is so loud. The bathrooms are nicer. The entire team is like four people. So it's just it's one bathroom, like it's just one bathroom for each gender, and then the bathroom is just like a room. It's a little room. It's got a toilet, sink, mirror, all that, and it's really nice. And the toilet paper is even. It's like regular. It's like toilet paper you would have in your house. The chairs are not as nice actually, and the table is bigger in the break room. The table is bigger, but it's lower, so I can't sit with my legs crossed, or my knee will hit the very cold metal frame that is in there. And then the chairs are just like they're also metal, and they also, like I said, they get cold and they're not very comfortable. I'm usually constantly shifting around to try and stay comfortable on the chair because most of what I was doing was putting little sachets, which are the little tea bags, into bigger bags. So I would count out 100 by hand manually. I'd count out 100 sachets, put them in a bag. Um, that was literally all I did today. Today I did one order. I fulfilled one order today in my entire 8 hour shift because I think it was 100 bags. It was 100 bags of 100, which is like 1,000. Now, of course, I had breaks. So yeah, I don't know if the math on that is good or not. I know it might sound like not a lot, or it might sound really bad. Like really, your whole 8 hour shift, you did one order? Yes. That's what I did. I did one order. Then I cleaned up and left. And then I went to lessons. Lessons were good. It didn't matter too much that I didn't practice because we didn't like showcase or demonstrate what I thought we would, which is good because that means that I don't look like a total fool. And then I picked up guitar pretty quickly, so I didn't really, nothing really bad happened from the whole not practicing thing, which I'm a little surprised about. Also, side note, my hair is getting quite long. You can see it's like a whoosh. It's like a constant kind of like flare, all the way from like here to here, right? And I mean, like, I still got this going, pretty sweet. Um, I want to cut it, but like, I don't know. I think come summertime, I will definitely cut it. I think I will definitely cut it once it gets hot out, because I will not be able to, I think, handle long hair and summer heat. Anyway, so I was thinking about my March daily goal of do one thing today because what I just told you that was pretty much today. After lessons, I got back, I had some food, watched a couple episodes of Adventure Time, practiced piano. So I am getting a good head start on my practices for this week. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, for the one goal that I made, where I was like, how like I'm running out of time between now and whenever I get that decision from you and KC. We've got the four things where it's like I want to do this, 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 and this week, right? I think the intended goal was fitness, art, music, cooking. So this week I would do fitness, then next week art, music, cooking. And now we're in a little bit of a weird spot now because I shouldn't have picked fitness for this week because, as you know or may not know, I shower every other day. And today, this week, my showers fell on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Now, of course, I could just shower like an extra time, but I don't like doing that because then my skin dries out. Um, so that would mean that I only exercise 3 times a week because I prefer to only exercise on days where I shower, right? But if I were to do fitness week, I would want to work out 4 times a week. And now, of course, I do have free will, so I could just work out 4 times a week. But then it's like, because like today's Thursday, so like I could work out like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but that's a lot of work, and I don't want to. Is the short answer. Um, so like if I really want to do that, I could. But now I'm thinking, okay, maybe we could pivot from fitness to like art. Right, so today's Thursday. If I do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's 4 days in the week. I'll do 4 art lessons starting today, one each day, and then I'll count that as it's completed. Well, now it's midnight, and it's just it's not even if I'm not tired, it just feels like an indecent hour to do things. I know Ink is still awake, kind of, probably at least a little bit, because I heard her walking around. Um, so yeah, I guess I could do a little art lesson. I also didn't do my dailies. Whoopsies. And then the March goal of do one thing today. I tried remembering the definition of what doing one thing counts. Doing what? I tried remembering the definition for what doing one thing counts as, is what I meant to say. Um, and I was like, well, I didn't really do a whole lot today, it kind of feels like. But I did remember my manga, not this one specifically, but the other one. I did finish reading that today, and that felt like doing something. So yeah, and also I have confirmed that my screen time tracker light phone thing is lying to me. Okay, I'll talk about more of that probably at the end of the week. But like it says that this is my screen time, but when I actually look at the numbers, they do not add up to what it's saying my screen time is. Anyway, I'm over time. So I will see you all tomorrow, Friday. Hello and welcome to Friday. I thought it was Saturday. It's not Saturday. Okay. Welcome to Saturday. Today I woke up and it was fine. Again, I got that feeling where I was like, oh man, I feel like if I could have half an hour more sleep, I would be great. But of course I couldn't. I did have a dream. So funny little thing. Sometimes, or I didn't have a dream. I got a glimpse of a dream, and sometimes my dreams will show me something that I really, really want, or sometimes my dreams will show me my absolute worst fears that technically could happen but probably won't. Anyway, I got a glimpse of a dream, and it was my boss, and he was like, "Oh, by the way, I adjusted your schedule to put your start time at 8:30, so you can come in at 8:30 now." And that, of course, wasn't real, but I was like, that'd be kind of cool. Now, I do want to mention a couple of my coworkers in the past were so late, so regularly, that their start time got pushed back half an hour. And I was like, oh man, it'd be so nice to come in half an hour later, then I could get my perfect dream sleep schedule of till to 8. Now, I could probably ask for that and get it, but then I would also lose half an hour of work. And it's like, ooh, do I want to give up that half an hour work for that half an hour sleep? It is tempting. It's very tempting. I think in the past I was saying no because I wasn't working full time, but I think now that I am working full time, like regularly, I think that half hour of sleep for the perfect sleep schedule could dramatically improve my quality of life. So I think that might be worth half an hour of missing half an hour of work. I could also, of course, actually no, I don't think I technically could stay half an hour later. But what I could do is I could take half an hour out of my lunch. That would work. Because I could still sleep, and I wouldn't need as quite as much time for sitting down if I feel perfectly and fully rested. Um, that could work. That I might do that genuinely. Um, Anyway, so I went to Hugo Tea today, and I got there, and today, in the past, was it, for the past few days I was there, I was putting sachets, which are the little tea bags, into larger bags. I would count out 100, put them in the bag, done. So today I was doing loose leaf tea, and loose leaf tea is exactly what it sounds like. There's no sachet, you just put the tea leaves directly into the water, right? So I was doing loose leaf tea, but it was flavored, right? So it was tea leaves that were mixed with flavoring, and the label said iced black mango, so it was black tea with mango flavoring added. It smelled so good, like it smelled insanely good to me. The thing is that after about 4 hours of smelling it, I think it genuinely made me sick or gave me a migraine. Now maybe I should have taken the warning whenever I started losing vision. Like I just had so like your eyes have blind spots. Naturally, everyone has blind spots. But like it was like most of like my left kind of vision was like bad. I would notice I would hold the bag here, And then whenever I would look over to take a scoop, the bag would disappear out of my vision. I wouldn't be able to see it. And until I looked back over at it, then I would feel it. And I was like, that's happened once before. One time I remember I was really young. I was testing my apple allergy, and I had just a huge blind spot, like right here. Like whenever I would look, like if the center of my vision is here, hold on, let's go for like, okay, sorry, let's go for like here. If the center of my vision is here, the blind spot was like right here. And way back when that happened, when I was like 14 testing my apple allergy, and today, it was like super noticeable. Today was like way worse than back in the past. But I was like, okay, this is probably not a huge issue, and I'm pretty sure it'll go away. Was why I didn't say anything like, hey, by the way, is it normal to lose your vision whenever you're filling the loose leaf tea bags? But I was like, who knows? Sometimes things just happen. You get a pain in your chest, and you're like, oh, that's probably normal. That'll probably go away, and then it usually does, right? Like sometimes I wake up and oh, my neck hurts or oh, my shoulder hurts, right? But then it goes away the next day. So I'm like, oh, my vision's gone for some reason in most of my left side. It'll come back, right? It did, yeah. Um, it came back, and then my head started to hurt, and my knees started to feel weak, and I would get really tired, like really tired. And I didn't, was it? Was it? Yeah, so it was getting really bad, and then I went to lunch, and I asked my coworker, hey, do you have any ibuprofen? I've got a headache. And he says, we've got Advil. He hands me a bottle of Advil. It expired 2 years ago. Now, I'm pretty sure Advil uses ibuprofen as its active ingredient. So I was like, and the thing is I hadn't eaten, right? I had snacks at 10, and then usually I have lunch at noon. But the thing is that I had eaten my snacks at 10, but it was like lunch, and like my head was hurting, which is making my stomach feel a little bad. So I didn't really feel like eating, but I was like, man, this headache is kind of killing me. So I took one Advil, one 2-year expired Advil, and I took a sip of water, and I was like, I'm just gonna try and sleep it off, because like I was getting super tired. I don't know why. My brain was just telling me go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just telling me that sleeping would make it better. So, and I think it was probably just because of the pain. Like it just like it hurt really bad. Like it's the worst headache I've had in probably years, genuinely. So like I put my hoodie on, flip it up, lay down, go to sleep. I wake up 20 minutes later. It's not better. I'm like, oh, let me just keep waiting. Maybe the Advil hasn't kicked in. I'll just keep waiting. I waited out 20 minutes. It's not better. So I end up just like kind of sleeping until 1, and then I'm like, hey man, this headache is killing me. I've got to go. Like it hurts so bad. I'm like writhing pretty much. He's like, oh yeah, the tea has been known to like give people headaches and trigger allergic reactions. And I was like, that would have been so useful to know before I had a migraine. And like I had never like been really familiar with migraines, and even right now I'm not entirely sure what a migraine is. I'm pretty sure it's a really bad headache with other symptoms. Like I said, like I was really nauseous and I was felt really weak and tired. Um, but I was like, yeah, I feel like he should have told me that beforehand, because I'm pretty sure that I could have just put on a mask, because coincidentally I had a mask on me. I keep it in my jacket because I usually take my jacket to work, and I have to wear the mask because I wear the beard net. All right, that's at the roastery. So I still had my jacket, so I still had my mask, and I'm like, I don't know, man. It's like I think maybe wearing the mask could have helped it, but like at that point, I had a headache and it was only getting worse. And the thing is I think I've talked about this before. My brain will deny problems that I have so that I can appear perfect. And like as I walked onto the floor, I felt myself feel a little stronger. I felt the pain get a little weaker. But I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to deal with this for 4 more hours. So I did ask if I could leave, and then I did leave. And oh my god, like I had trouble getting home. Like I said, I was really good at fronting and acting like I wasn't, in debilitating headache pain. But then it's like so I asked him if I could go. He was like, yeah, that's fine. And then once I closed the door to like the factory and I got back like in the main room, I was like stumbling and tripping around. I felt like I had to throw up. I laid on the bathroom floor for a couple seconds. I was like, this isn't helping. So then I gathered up all my stuff. I threw it in the car. I sat in the car, and I was like, oh my god, my head hurts so much. I don't know if I can drive. I had to like hype myself up, right? I was still feeling nauseous. I was still in pain. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it home. So I just kind of writhed in the car for a little bit, and I was like, okay, the pain's not gonna go away if I just sit here. And I know I've got painkiller, ibuprofen at home, I can take more of, and also I can take food, and also it's like I'll be in like a safe space, so my brain won't be freaking out as much. Because like I don't know why, it was almost like I was panicking the whole time too, just because I was in so much pain. I didn't know what to do. So I worked up the courage to drive home, and I had a grocery bag, and I put that in the seat next to me just in case I threw up. I was like, if I have to throw up, I'm gonna reach for the grocery bag and just blah, and then keep driving. That was the plan. I was like biting my lip, trying to stay focused, right? Just trying to like not throw up, not hit anyone, try to get home. I ended up making it home, and I am okay. But oh my god, it was like, yeah, it's like it was. I was in pain, and like yeah, I had that weird sense of panic. So then once I got home, head still totally exploding with pain. I threw all my stuff on the floor, emptied my pockets, and I was like, okay, what do I do now? I don't know what to do. I think I'm just gonna go to sleep, right? Because I was like, ow, pain, pain, pain. Got to make the pain stop. Okay, how do we make the pain stop? Ibuprofen. Okay, can't eat ibuprofen. Stomach empty. Can't do that because then just my stomach will hurt and my head will hurt, which is probably terrible. Um, and like yeah, I said I was writhing. I think the last time I was writhing in pain was I guess I had a couple stomach aches in recent memory between my trip to the ER and now. But yeah, it's just like I was just in so much pain I didn't know what to do. So I went to sleep. I slept for like 3 hours, I think. And then I woke up at like 4 p.m. and I was like, I think I'm good. I think I'm good now. So I had a sandwich. I had two more ibuprofen, and I had some like water. And then my head was still hurting, so I had two more ibuprofen. And I've been drinking. Inky got me some Gatorade. I was like, hey, please, can I have some Gatorade? She was like, sure. It's just, I don't know. I find it hard to believe that the scent from the tea caused a migraine. But I mean, I guess it's not that outlandish. It just sounds like my day was genuinely ruined because I was smelling tea, like flavored tea. Now, of course, they do flavor it with chemicals, I think, to an extent, like syrups, which are probably not entirely organic. I think they're synthetic to an extent. I know we do that at the roastery. We flavor our coffee with stuff. And at the roastery, we had a guy come in, and I'm pretty sure he like tested all the syrups to make sure that they're not harmful to humans. And I think, yeah, I think you can actually eat the syrups that we flavor our coffee with, and you won't like die. Like they're that safe. I know there's one flavor that our main guy can't do because he said it gives him a headache. But like he does the rest of the flavor, and he doesn't, get a migraine. So I'm like, how like has this been tested? Like, was it tested and approved with just like, because if I remember correctly, I think the worst symptom that the being in the flavor room could cause was like a mild headache. But that's mild. So I'm like, are we just using syrups that are untested or like I don't know. It's just that's crazy to me that I got a migraine and had my day ruined from smelling tea at work. Like I said, I was doing it for 4 hours, and my vision did kind of kind of leave, like on the left side partially for a couple hours. Um, but yeah, so that was like the first half of my day. The second half of my day fairly normal. Nothing really of note to talk about. And I would like to keep talking about the rest of the day and a couple other things, but I'm way over time, and tomorrow's is supposed to be longer anyway. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you. Oh wait, no, because I keep for some reason I think it's Saturday. I've just had so much fun, kind of. Not really. I don't know. It was fun being at home. I just relaxed. I watched Adventure Time, played games, stuff like that. So it kind of felt like a weekend. But tomorrow is the weekend, and the day after that. So yeah. Anyway, see you all tomorrow, Saturday. Hello everyone, and welcome to Saturday. Pretty standard day today. I woke up at I think I woke up at like 9, and then I slept until 10. Um, I passed the time by playing Helldivers until I got hungry, and then I made a couple breakfast burritos. Believe it or not, they were not bad. I'd say definitely not like delicious, but it was definitely a good breakfast. I ended up making two of them, and then I had one. I finished one, and I was full, I guess. So I kind of just had some caffeine after that. And then I played a lot of Helldivers, and I practiced piano, and then I think that's about all I did before going to play badminton with Noir and her boyfriend and her boyfriend's sister. Um, That was a lot of fun. The weather was very very nice today. I messaged like I think 6 friends. I messaged Parkour, Bones, Surfer Girl, Inc, uh, Rowdy, and then I messaged Noir. And the way of like the like process of elimination, right? Like the order is just how likely they are to be available. So I was like, also I think Ink was busy today as well. But I was like, I'm gonna start with someone who's probably available, and then if they're not, then I'm gonna go down the line to people who. And honestly, I was surprised. I did not think Noir would be available at all, actually. So that was a nice little surprise. We played badminton. It was a lot of fun. No one was like great, but that's okay. We also played volleyball after that. That was a lot of fun too. Everyone was a little bit better at that, but still, it's like we weren't really volleying. It was kind of like a couple people would get a good hit, and then someone would just go pew, and then the ball would like disappear. I think yeah, that's about all I did today. I came back and I played more Helldivers, and I did dishes because I forgot to clean up after breakfast. Yeah, nothing really to note about today, which isn't bad, because I do still feel like I did something. You know, I played outside today. I did fitness. Now the goals for this week are kind of like screwed, and I'm not entirely okay. Actually, yeah, in my head I'm not sure why, and then I think about it, and then I remember why. One thing I want to talk about is quote unquote personal business. So as I've said, I've been doing things behind the scenes, but I haven't been talking about them on purpose, and that makes it sound like I'm not doing anything, but I am. Now, I've thought about, I was like, what if I implement a little thing on the Chronicle called personal business? And if I'm doing personal business, that means that I'm doing something that I don't want to talk about for one reason or another. It's probably like the personal business I've been doing recently is just totally normal. It's just that I don't want to talk about it because I'm weird. Anyway, but I think it's like, I don't know, because I want people to know that I'm doing things, but I don't want everybody knowing everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't think I'll implement personal business because I should hopefully be done with it soon. I know one of the things I'm thinking of right now is done now. But yeah, that was most of the day. Piano practice, Helldivers. I remember feeling super like energetic after breakfast. I had my caffeine, I had my creatine, and I was ready to go. I was like barely able to sit still while playing Helldivers. Um, but I didn't really have anything to do with that energy because I'm like I'm not gonna work out now because I'm gonna go work out later when I play badminton and volleyball, and that was a lot of fun. And that did take up a lot of energy. I was so tired afterward. That shower felt amazing. Also, my hair. This is something I've thought about doing. I don't know if I ever have done it before. It's the slick back, except I put the middle part in there, so I call it the split back. Because it's slick back, but it's split. I don't know how that's gonna turn out when I comb the product out. I guess we're gonna find out. And I think that's everything for today. Yeah, the fitness music art thing, that's kind of cooked for this week because I cannot complete it to my standards this week. So we'll do that next week. I think next week we'll start with fitness, which is what we shouldn't have done this week, which is what I tried to do. So yeah, so we'll start with fitness. Oh yeah, my dailies. I've done like none of them. I think I'll probably get like I'll do them tomorrow, and I think that'll be it. And I also kind of want to make multiple gaming videos tomorrow. Um, I think it was supposed to get cold. Like I think it was supposed to drop. Or no, no, no. It's not gonna drop that much. It's just gonna go to 60. Uh, yes. Yeah, it's just gonna get down to 60. Is 60 pants weather? I think I'm gonna wear pants tomorrow because I'm going to church too, so I gotta look nice. Yeah, I guess maybe I could like do laundry. I don't really know. I don't have any plans for tomorrow. Um, oh my gosh, forearms are kind of beat up from volleyball. Anyway, pretty sure that's everything for today. Oh no, 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 no. I do have things I want to talk about. I have them on my desk here. Oh man. Okay, I'll talk about this one tomorrow. Um, so remember when I went to the shooting range and I had bullets left over? This is a box of bullets, and I assumed it would be like totally packed, loose bullets just jingling around in here, but it's not. So when you open it up, they come in this little thingy, and also it was way heavier than I thought it would be. They come in this little thingy like this. So you can see it's mostly empty, but look at that. These are real 9mm bullets. Check that out. Wow. I don't know. I just think this is cool. I remember I was very fascinated when we did because like the pistol class, it had a part where it was just like informational, and then at the very end we got to shoot the pistols. We did shot 9 millimeters. I think you could also shoot 22s, which are even smaller than this. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just this is so cool to me. I don't know why. Like a real bullet that actually works that you could use. That's kind of cool. Like I said, I did put one on my shelf, and I've got five left. I'm thinking about giving one of each to my five best friends because how remember how I'm collecting. Oh yeah, I don't know. I never did talk about that. So you see this on my hand? That's a cigarette burn. I got that from Pouty. I asked her for it. I'm thinking about getting one from each of my five best friends, and I wasn't gonna talk about it until it's finished. But I guess it's relevant now. So I'm thinking about doing a star pattern. So it'd be like, whoosh, 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 right? But the thing about a star is that the right side, one of the sides stick out further than the bottom. If this is supposed to be the bottom, that means that the side is going to end up like over here, and I just think that would look weird. So I might do like five, like on a dice, where it's like one, two, three, four, and then one in the middle for five. Um, but yeah, I haven't decided that yet. Um, so yeah, I was like, maybe I could give the spare bullets to my friends. I could draw a little smiley face on them because on Discord, my actually here, check out. You see this guy right here, right here. Okay, so this is a bullet. It's a plushy bullet with a smiley face on it, and that's kind of like the logo for this one of my favorite games of all time called Enter the Gungeon, which is also there's a loading screen, which is my profile on Discord, and it's just like a really zoomed in smiley face. So maybe I could put smiley faces on the bullets and then be like, hey, here's a bullet, friend. Could be cool. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what I'll do with them, but yeah, I just think like that's cool, man. Look at that, real bullet. Anyway, whoops. I'll tell you about this tomorrow, and I will see you all tomorrow, Sunday, for the last report. Okay. See you tomorrow. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sunday, the end of the Chronicle. As you might notice, I look a little different today because I'm wearing stuff on my head. So this is what I look like when I was working at Hugo Tea earlier this week. One thing I realized is that you guys kind of always see me in relatively the same state. Of course, my shirt changes pretty just about every day. But I was like, you don't see like what I look like when I'm out and about in my daily life. Now, sometimes you'll see me like in a nice shirt, like if I had church today or something. Um, and I did actually have a nice shirt earlier, but I totally slept through church. I stayed up way too late last night, and I was like, oh, it's 11:15. I'm cooked. The service starts at 10:45, so yeah, I kind of missed that. But anyway, I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, this is genuinely, like, check this out. Everything that you see right now included. The hat, the headphones, the shirt. This is what was wearing, like, pretty much earlier in the week. I would just wear a company shirt. Doesn't matter that I'm at Hugo Tea wearing a roastery shirt. Same company. If you go high enough. But yeah, so this is, like, my uniform, pretty much. So what was cool was at Hugo Tea, we didn't have to wear hairnets, but, of course, we still had to wear a hat. And if you didn't have a hat, they'd give you a hairnet. So I actually do. I think in my last room. Do you guys remember when I had the hats on the wall? So this was one of them. I got this for free from like some company event that was going on at the roastery way back when. Um, and I was like, that looks like a cool hat. I want that. Never thought I'd wear it. But yeah, I did earlier this week. And then the headphones are, believe it or not, they're allowed. And I get to listen to music and podcasts whenever I'm manually counting out 100 sachets to put into a bag. Um, but yeah, I don't think no one said anything about this because this technically wasn't contained in the hat, but like it wouldn't really go up. It's not quite that long. Um, but yeah, we didn't have to wear beard nets either at Hugo Tea, which is kind of cool. Um, so like earlier in the week, this is what I was wearing, and I was like, this looks cool. Like I feel like a character. You know what I'm saying? Like out of a video game or something. I've got so much going on right now. I think tomorrow I'll bring back a hairnet from work, and then you guys will see what I look like at work at the roastery, which is like kind of horrifying. You'll see what I mean tomorrow. I guess you'll see what I mean next week, because it won't upload. I kind of wanted to get one. Like I kind of wanted to do it in the same week, show off like what it looked like at Hugo Tea versus at the roastery. But it ain't that deep. You'll see the roastery tomorrow. Anyway, today's events. I guess yeah, that's what we do here. I woke up, yeah, like I said, 11:15. Stayed up way too late last night. Wait, where's my phone at? I need that for the video. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so I slept in, and it was fine. Also, it snowed today, which is insane. Anyway, back on task. woke up late, played Mission of Helldivers to get my appetite going. Then I made breakfast burritos again, and they actually turned out good. Like genuinely, at least a 7 out of 10. Like yesterday was like 6, maybe 5. Might go as low as say 5 out of 10. But I baked the bacon, and it was so good, man. It was just like bake the bacon, scramble the eggs, cheese, mix it all together in a tortilla, and that's a breakfast burrito, man. It was just that easy. It created a lot of dishes, which was kind of annoying, but that's how it goes. Yeah, it was good. I had one of them. I made two. I ate one. It was good. The other one I had like a couple bites of, and I stored for later. Still just as good. Well, a little worse, but just as good after I microwaved it. One thing I like sometimes I'll fidget with my glasses as I like walk by someone. Like I can't do it now because the brim's in the way. But now, like if I ever like walk by someone, I need to look busy. I'll just go like this, just adjust my hat, kind of. That's not doing anything really, but it looks like I'm doing something, and it feels like sturdy on my head. I like it. Anyway, so I made breakfast burritos. That was good. I played a lot of Helldivers. I think I practiced enough of my instruments to count as a practice, right? I don't really like doing that, but I don't like wasting my effort either. So yeah, we'll count that. Um, that was honestly, yeah, what I did today. Played a lot of Helldivers, played a lot of Minecraft with my coworkers, made a lot of progress on the farm tris. It's coming along nicely. I've got all of the floors are built, not all of the floors are finished, and I've got one more room in the basement, my own personal room that I need to add. Um, and then yeah, it's coming together real nicely. Um, so that's going good. That's what I did in Minecraft. And Helldivers, Helldivers, good fun. I did not get to record all my gaming videos, but that's fine. I woke up late. That kind of takes a few hours out of my day, which is fine. I'm supposed to be asleep at this point because it's like 11:48, and I've got to wake up at 7:30. I don't know. I'll probably take a melatonin and it'll be fine. I think I've also got a little bit of surplus sleep over the weekend because I did sleep a lot on Friday. After getting poisoned, I don't know, quote unquote poisoned, at Hugo Tea from smelling that flavored tea. I don't know. For some reason, it's just so hard for me to believe that smelling that tea gave me a migraine bad enough to like put me out for a few hours. Like I said, I was struggling to get back home. I was biting my lip, the inside of my lip, to try and like stay focused. Then I had the pain was like making me nauseous too. So I had the grocery bag next to me just in case. But I made it out fine. It's just yeah, it's like really smelling tea, flavored tea, for like 4 hours gives me a migraine bad enough to send me home. That's crazy, man. Yeah, like is that even real? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know why. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. But I don't know. Maybe we should look into what chemicals we use when we flavor that tea because it might be poisonous for the employees. Yeah, maybe it was as simple as wearing a mask. I don't know. I already got it too bad at that point. I wasn't gonna be like, oh, maybe it'll just put on a mask and I'll be fine. No, because a mask won't cure that crippling headache that I have. But yeah, um, so I think I've got enough sleep saved up that I can be, I can short myself tomorrow. Yeah, that's pretty much all I did. I did get groceries. Oh yeah, dude, I went to Aldi and they had this new thing I've never seen before. It said petite sirloin steaks, and it's about exactly what it sounds like. It's actually three little oval shaped steaks for like $15 was the average. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. Because like the last steak that I cooked earlier this week, which by the way I cooked to a perfect medium rare. I just don't like my steak like that. But I had put it on my story, and my friends was Rowdy Powdy and another mutual friend was like, "Dude, you cooked a that's a perfect medium rare," and I was like, "No, I don't like medium rare," so I threw half of it away. But I'm gonna cook the steaks better this week, hopefully this time. I've got three of them, and the thing is that was like a $17 steak right down the drain. But this is like $5 steak, so it's like if I mess this up, it's not that bad. Yeah, we're gonna get closer to be able to cook a consistent steak, guys. We're getting there. Um, anyway, yeah, so I got groceries. I got that. I bought a little tin of sardines because I'm trying to expand my palate. Not that I need to go in the direction of, canned sardines, but it's like my coworkers were talking about canned sardines like it was just a good, fun little casual little snack. And now in my head, I'm like, a tin of sardines? That's disgusting. Like I've tried that once before. It was sardines and mustard sauce. This time I got sardines and soybean oil. I don't know why it said soybean oil. It was just there. So I'm like, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to challenge my own brain just to like push it way out of its comfort zone, right? Because it's like in my head I'm thinking sardines. Yeah, some people, a lot of people might think that that's gross. You open up the can, it's just whole sardines with their heads cut off, chilling in some oil. That's gross. I'll admit, I think that's gross too. But I want to try and overpower my sort of palate with a sense of logic and just saying this is perfectly good food. There's nothing wrong with it. Doesn't matter how bad it looks. It should be good food. And also technically it doesn't even matter how bad it tastes, right? Cuz like taste I think is subjective to most people. Like I think I've talked about a little bit about this before on the Chronicle. I talked to my dad about it too. I was like, what determines whether someone likes the flavor of something or not? Because like I feel like most things taste good. Like I never had a problem with vegetables, um, but like what determines that? And my dad was like, well, it's probably just like whatever you grew up around. And I was like, yeah, that's probably right. Um, but yeah, I know like obviously taste buds change over time too. But I'm thinking like, can I just kind of force myself, quote unquote, or maybe I guess it would be like train myself to like stuff that I usually don't, like canned sardines. I also can't tell how loud I'm talking because I've got the headphones on. I think this is a fine volume. I'm just seeing it looks like the green is going farther than usual. Anyway, also whenever I do this, it like shades my eyes and I like super evil. Anyway, yeah, so I went grocery shopping, played a whole bunch of video games, and I only feel a little bit bad about it because my goals for this week are already kind of cooked. Because they were like relying on consistency. Like I think my dailies, I've done all of them except for smelling because it's smell, handwriting, honey, and apple. Yeah, so I just need to do the smell. So I'm gonna put this on my bed as a reminder, and I'm gonna get my journal. Okay. I think that's enough yapping about today. Yeah, I played video games, I got groceries, and practiced my instruments, and my dailies, and now I'm here. Also, I thought about taking off the hat and headphones. I was like, oh, I'll just put it on for a couple minutes, but I like it. I think it's cool. Like I said, I like this too. Anyway, that was all of today. I think that I had to talk. Let's start with the goals. Oh, actually, yeah, I should mark them. Eh, I'll do this. I'll mark it later. Okay, so the screen time goal, I was really working at that one this week. Okay, you guys gotta really hear me out on this one. Okay, so I took a screenshot. Here it is. Check it out. I'll let you read it. Weekly report available. Last week, your average 3 hours, 16 minutes of screen time per day on this device. Now, the goal was under an hour, right? And this is nowhere near that. This was not even that much. But what I have concluded is that my phone is somehow lying to me, or it's just not showing me something that it's tracking. So I took a screenshot just to be sure. So check this out. This is one day. This is March 13th, and it says an hour and 28 minutes, right? That's how much I was on my phone. Now, if we look here, look at the bottom. Hopefully it'll focus. I don't know if it actually will. Hello? Hello? How do I hold it back? I'm really trying to get you guys to be able to read this, but I don't think it's gonna work. Okay, so I'll tell you. So it's showing me that it's tracking 3 different categories: social, travel, and other. Also, it really should not be tracking Apple Maps as screen time because I'm not just staring at my phone, while I'm on the road. Anyway, so it says 30 minutes in social, 16 minutes in travel, and 10 minutes in other. That only adds up to 56 minutes. So then why does it say I was on my phone for an hour and 28 minutes, right? Where is the rest of this screen time coming from? And there was another day that was like this where it's just adding screen time that's not there. I'm like, what is it? Where is it pulling this from? So I genuinely don't know. I can't figure it out. So if you guys know where that screen time is coming from, I would like to know. Oh, is this it? Oh yeah, okay. Oh my gosh, this one is even crazier. Okay. An hour and 51 minutes, right? And it's saying that 1 hour and 51 minutes is coming from 18 minutes in social, 12 minutes in other, and 4 minutes in entertainment. That's only 34 minutes. And it's saying I have an hour and 51. of screen time, by the way. And I'm like, where is this coming from? Where on earth is this coming from? Because I had 32, 34 minutes and it's saying 1 hour and 51. What I'm guessing is that that's a projected average. Um, but that's the only thing I can think of. Because it's just gray. It shows me the categories it's highlighting. Look at the little pillar. See that? It's just gray. You can see that the colored part, that's what it's showing me. That's saying that social, travel, entertainment is the colored bits. The gray, it doesn't say. It's just gray. So it's like, what is going on there? So I feel like I did better than it's saying, but I just don't know. Cause like I for sure the part that's colored that it is tracking, I believe that 100%. But where on earth is it pulling that part that's grayed out from? I don't know. So we're gonna count that as completed, just because I tried and I'm pretty sure I did it, but I think it's lying to me. That's a screen time goal. The whole thing with fitness, art, music, cooking, we're gonna put an X on that because I low key failed, and we're gonna start with fitness next week. We're gonna go for 4 workouts for the week. We're gonna go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're gonna do cardio, and then probably Saturday we're gonna have a workout and see if I don't totally die at the end of it. And that sounds like a great plan. The whistle goal, I'm not any closer to whistling. The guitar catch up, that one's failed again. The guns goal, I did do. I talked about going to the gun range with my mom, and also I can still hear my left ear faintly ringing whenever it gets really quiet, so that's kind of cool, I guess. I'm pretty sure it'll go away after a while because the ringing has gotten quieter since we went to shot the guns on Wednesday. Um, so we completed those two. The March goal of do one thing. I've been doing plenty of things. Have not felt like putting an X on it yet. I guess today I didn't do it. Oh no, I made breakfast burritos today. That counts. That's one thing. For sure. That's one thing that makes me feel fulfilled. Dailies, they're gonna get a 1 out of 7. I'm gonna complete the smell right here, whoop, and then we're gonna put a 1 out of 7 on there. So that kind of sucks. I do know why. It's just life, just general life stuff getting in the way. Similar to the gaming videos, I haven't made a lot of those, which is good and bad. It's bad because I do kind of want to, but it's good because that whole goal was really made to fill time, just in case I had excess time. And recently I haven't, which is good, I think. That means I'm busy and I'm doing stuff, and if I'm busy and I'm doing stuff, then I don't want to kill myself. Um, I think that's just about all the goals on there. I should make another. Oh yeah, next week my music teacher is on spring break, so I'm hopefully gonna try really hard to complete that guitar catch-up goal. Because like I said, that should be done. I'm so close. That should be done. I think I'm gonna start tomorrow. Wish me luck. Tomorrow is gonna be normal. I'm gonna be back at my work, regular work. I'm very optimistic and hopeful at the start of every week because I'm like, yay, let's do my dailies. Let's put a check mark on there. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I think that's all the goals. Everything I can think of. Journal time. I think there might be like one entry that you guys don't get in here, so we're gonna see. Monday, no Hugo Tea today. I was super bummed out and I read the manga that Pouty gave me while at work, and it's quite good. I also cooked a perfect medium rare steak, but my autistic butt couldn't eat it and threw half of it away. And that's Monday. Is there a quote? No. What does that one mean? I don't even know why I wrote that. Wait, what does that mean? I don't know. Tuesday. I went into Hugo Tea today and, on short notice, but it was actually quite nice. And that is it. Wait, no. Also, I played Deadlock with parkour because it was too windy for badminton. And then the quote is personal business question mark, which I talked about implementing. I don't think I'm going to, because I think it would just be kind of annoying to be like, I did personal business today, and then no explanation. That means I did something. What is it? Could be anything, but I'm not going to talk about it. So I'm like, at that point, I'll just leave it out entirely, I think. So we're not going to implement personal business. But yeah, on Tuesday it was too windy to play badminton, which kind of sucks. Like, it doesn't even need to be that windy. It could just be a little bit windy, and then it'll be so much harder to play badminton. So I canceled badminton with parkour, but we then played Deadlock, which is a lot of fun. And then I worked at Hugo Tea. Wednesday, after another full day at Hugo Tea, I went straight to the bullet hole for pistol class with my mom. It was honestly super fun, minus a couple little things. And after we got five guys, we had a few leftover bullets, so I'll keep those as decorations. And I'd like to say I did literally anything after that, but I was just too tired. The quote is, "My left ear is still ringing," which it is. My left ear is still ringing. Yeah, so the bullet hole was a lot of fun. Like I said, there was an informational part before the shooting range. Super fun, super cool. We just learned about the guns and all of its parts and how to shoot them. Um, yeah, my hearing, kind of got like messed up. Maybe I don't know. I could have sworn I had the earplugs jammed in there, and then that first shot went off, and I was like, oh my god. And then fortunately, my mom got some over ears, which helped a lot. Um, Thank you for that, mom. And then afterwards, yeah, we got five guys, and I got leftover bullets. It was just it was a great day, if I'm being honest. It was a great day. I don't know why. It's so fascinating to me, the little bullets, where it's like, wow, a real bullet. Anyway, I feel like I've been on that side of the frame for too long. Coming back now. Yeah, that was Wednesday. Thursday, after work today, I had lessons, and that's pretty much all I did today. There's plenty of mundane things I did too. Yeah, that's Thursday. I can't even remember what happened on Thursday. I know I went to work. Wait a minute. Did I do nothing on Thursday, low key? I think I did. Um, hmm. Although I don't really feel like I did nothing on Thursday. Oh yeah, I know I did good in lessons despite not practicing. And then I think that was kind of all I did, yeah. Huh. I mean, there's nothing in the journal, but the journal gets kind of sparse sometimes. Um, but yeah, I haven't felt like I've been doing nothing. Um, oh yeah, because I've been reading the manga. That felt like something. That felt like doing something. That's why Thursday doesn't have a, or that's why it doesn't feel like I didn't do anything on Thursday. Um, yeah, because I know the feeling of feeling like I have done nothing today, and I haven't felt that ever since way back. You can't see it, but the March goal of do one thing is up there somewhere, and it's only got one X on it. I really need to keep up with because it should have 16 marks total on it right now. Um, but I'm not great at keeping up with tracking them. Anyway, yeah, Friday. So I low-key got poisoned by chemical fumes at work today and left halfway through because of a migraine. I slept most of it off after 3 hours and then rested a lot after recuperating from that. Ink's brother and his friend came over again, so I holed up in my room for a bit as usual. I wanted to be more productive today, but the migraine totally cooked my brain. And then the quote is the smell, seriously. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's believable to you guys. Maybe I'm just being weird about it. But I'm like, yeah, man, the smell, really? And then I get a migraine and I'm out for the day? That's ridiculous. Saturday, I made breakfast burritos today. They weren't bad. I played a lot of Helldivers, practiced piano, and played badminton with Noir and a couple others. That's about all. And then the quote is split back because I've got the split back under the hat. You can't see it. It looks okay. I don't prefer the way it looks after the hairspray wears off compared to just my regular middle part that I do. Uh, because with the split back, what happens is I have a middle part, but it's got like a lot of volume. Actually, I guess I could show you right now. Take that off. Whoop. It's probably going to be flat from the hat, but yeah, this is what the split back ends up looking like after the hairspray wears off. Yeah, I've talked about how my hair is asymmetrical before, and right now is no exception. Because you see how this side, look how it's just like whoosh, voluminous, majestic, and this part is like, it's just like it. Like I said, this half goes back if you just comb it back, but this part goes up and then it goes back, which is why I mean, like, yeah, like look at it, it's like totally different. Like, see that versus that. If I could have one or the other, that would be cool. But I have both, so it's really annoying. Um, and I think I would prefer just my regular middle part. Because what I do with the regular middle part is, after the shower, I just spray hairspray pretty much just right here on the part. And then the roots will kind of hold the rest of the hair kind of back a little bit. So then it ends up looking like this nice kind of shape like this, where it's like, woo, and then I usually comb it back. But, with this, it's just that. Anyway, put those aside. That's the whole journal. That was all the goals. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. I don't want to talk about the migraine a little bit more. Migraine was crazy. Pretty standard week. Yeah, the personal business should hopefully not get in the way anymore. But maybe it's just a case of I need to prioritize myself a little bit more over others. But the reason why I don't prioritize myself or the goals over others is because the others, like when Parkour hit me up and he was like, "Hey, do you want to play Deadlock?" He's not gonna hit me up just any day, right? He might not hit me up very like super often, but like I can always work on my goals on days when people aren't hitting me up. You know what I'm saying? Also, this mustache is annoying me. What the heck? It's weird how it looks like there's a gap there. What the heck is going on there? That's weird. Anyway, yeah, so it's like if something spontaneous like parkour hitting me up for deadlock happens, I'm gonna prioritize that over my goals because I can work on the goals anytime. But then they kind of end up getting put off until never, and then they don't get done, and that's why they don't get done. But I think that's everything for this week. I've still got to put all this stuff together, and I've got to wake up in like 7 hours. But that's fine, I guess. Um, yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next week. Bye.